incredible. I mean, I am just blown away at the amount of services that you provide and the needs that are being met. I mean, ideally, we would want to live in a world where none of this is needed, but unfortunately, it is. And so to have this is just absolutely incredible. And you talked about community, and I want to lean into that for a moment, Scott, because it really is so important for those who feel called to foster or adopt. Understand that not only is it okay, but it is necessary to operate in a space of ongoing community in order to see success in our stories for our children, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. One of the things we do here in our campus, and the benefits that Murphy Harps provides is having residential, we can engage or do have a lot of churches engage our programs here on our campus. They come to do birthday parties. They come. We've got a group of university students coming on April 25th to help host our prom for our kids. So
Oh,
we
wow.
really value community and pull them in. And so people who've never, they're entertaining the idea of fostering. Maybe they don't understand a lot about the foster system and children in the system. And we provide a safe place for them to come and engage with us in a campus environment and
Yeah.
get to know our kids, play bingo with them and host a birthday party, support them at different recreational events. And that, we find that's very helpful to help build in the community a greater awareness and readiness of ministry to
Yeah.
help these youth. It helps. It's sort of like a zero entry for folks thinking about fostering
Right.
to get involved and to see the teenagers, which most time people foster, they're looking for those younger ones, and to be able to be here in this environment is helpful to really opening that door of opportunity to encourage fostering these older kids.
Yeah.
But community is so important. I mean, it is the church's call. I mean, the apostolic charge that we have in James chapter 1. It's the call to care for the widow and the orphan in the distress. True. If we can get right down to it, it's to true youth ministry. Most of our churches out there listening, people, I was converted through a youth ministry in my home church growing up, and there's a vital. Pizza parties, all kinds of stuff. We're learning about Jesus in a fun environment. But if you want to get down to the real issue of youth ministry and where the scriptures speak directly to ministry of youth, it is the costly ministry uh, of siding with a vulnerable child, the
Yes.
fatherless, right? And the church needs to take up that charge and hear that call, uh, you know, clearly. And I think it's a congregational type charge, so that there's not one family picking that up in a church that is not doing it together with the rest of that church. You
Right.
know, we raise our children in church, and we do that among the community that's supporting us in the raising of our youth. And so we ought to do that in terms of foster care and have a real clear eye to the Lord's path. I mean, you look and read the Gospels. I mean, his entourage, the King of Kings, his entourage is not with the strongest and the most noble, the mighty, but with the weak.
That's right.
And his pedagogical tool, generally, in training future leaders and ministers like the apostles, was a child.
Right.
And and we learn with a child how vulnerable we ourselves are, how much we need the Father
Yes.
and the Lord. So community is vital. Community is vital. It's tragic, and then this. I'm sure your listeners are well aware that if like here in the state of Georgia, if every church would take one child, we wouldn't have a crisis.
That's right.
You know, so it's clear that the churches aren't hearing the charge clearly.
Yeah.
And but we need to step into that. So yeah, I would
I
encourage
agree.
folks to really get involved. And Murphy Hearts provides a way for folks churches to come in a missional way, to come see what it's about,
Right.
learn a little bit more. Yeah.
I love that. And that right there is key. And we have the same, we share the same statistic here in Arkansas where our agency operates. And it is, if one church would step in, then that would solve 100% of the need in our state. And so it sounds so simple, but yet it's a messy ministry. It is intimidating. We feel ill equipped. We feel uninformed. You know, there's just a lot to that. So to know, again, that's another reason why I love getting to have conversations like this, because we can say, there are programs that exist, there is support that exists, and it is biblically based, and it is proven, it is therapeutic, it's all the things that we would need in order to engage and be obedient to this apostolic calling that you had mentioned. So I love that.